all of we, and it will continue for the many, many years after we have gone. I mean, you will get the aspiration for can serve the party. I mean, serving a party position a voluntary job. Nobody's being paid for it. And for able for volunteer and out of extreme love and concern and commitment, you can forget to the party. So people did come forward. That was very, very much, appreciative. Then we be elected one day. So allow the process for flow naturally. But at the end of the day, when this agreement begin come, we make them understand, say, the party big pass all. Nobody know the way they are above the party. So the interest of the party for be the first. So at the end of the day, them people they are where they raise their concern in them, indeed like SLPP people them, through SLPP people them. So when we talk to them, we understand and they will be able to sit down and get a compromise and agree. But some of the areas will be very, very thorny. When you get to a point, we go back in the neck, the president call a meeting, we agree, say we should have a war formula, which is we bring on the parties away, they disagree on issues then, but they come together and compromise and agree on the type of executive where they want, that zone or that section or that constituency, so that at the end of the day, everybody will be inclusive and play a role for playing that process. And that process be going very well and everybody be accepted.
So currently, everybody will be dissatisfied with the sectional and zonal elections and at the SLPP. Don't they in agreement now with the whole executive?
That's why we went to the delegate conference. That's why we have a new executive now. Of course, they'll be agree, and we don't get a new executive. We will continue the process of talking to each and every member of the party and every supporters and every well-wisher of the party, because we need everybody on board. We need every hands on deck for 2023. We'll go for re-elect the leader again overwhelmingly.
During them issues then day of the zonal executive elections, them when they come up, a lot of allegations and counter allegations then they come up. One of them now when they point finger upon certain people them na the SLPP party will be all executive position then say they want for muzzle the party or they want for all the party by themselves. Just people who them feel they support them and they be one for fixed a certain zonal position them. And so member na the SLPP, yes, according to you, on a party leader be able to call everybody on board, talk to them. But some certain people still feel aggrieved, say, I might not left the SLPP, but I go just they no more, not they participate in some of their activities there. So how na go able for bring everybody on board now that una don't get a new executive, and this particular executive they take on to the general elections where maybe if Salon people are satisfied with una still worship, then go re-elect una again.
Thank you very much, Khadija. I mean, I agree with you. That's all in the past now. We are moving forward. But even before that, before we get to the elections, we'll be NEC, winner the second highest decision-making body, began for set up a committee we'll call the Reconciliation Committee within the party, headed by Ambassador Joe Blair. And the one day, the mission was to even go out, not only the one day now we get some issues that with the lower level election, but even the one day we don't sit down quietly as a result of the fallout we get during 2017 and 18. We before talk to them, bring their camera on board. And that committee don't be the only work, and the mandate has been expanded to reach out to each and everybody. We describe so now, and they're doing well. And I'll be pleased for seeing at this national delegate conference that people that we don't sit down for the last 3 years quiet, they participate. When our household names and the SLPP don't come on board fully, people like Banja, Tijansi, and others, they were all at the last NEC meeting and even the national delegate conference. This committee will continue for work. To start with, we are having our first national executive meeting this Saturday where they come. First on Friday, we're meeting with the leader of the party where we'll discuss a couple of issues. Then Saturday, we'll have our first national executive meeting in which those issues will be laid on the floor, and we'll definitely pursue them, because I can always tell people them, the only asset of any serious asset of any political party are the people them, and the people them very, very much important and paramount to us. So we will definitely not go shy away from that. We will continue. But I can tell you for sure that people that clearly within the SLPP membership understand, say, the SLPP is the focus here, and the SLPP is bigger than all of us, and they're ready to accept whatever moving forward. You've had statements from maybe the one the way they contest, because all this issue about zonal, sectional, they lead towards particular projects, and i.e., would that this the support, would that need the support. Just after the election, we see, the gestures then from the losers then, particularly the chairmanship election. We saw some of the candidates who they lost come openly at the field, they can congratulate the winner, and would also give a statement come out from one of the main contender, Mr. Jimmy Batilosonga, in which they affirm in commitment to serving the SLPP and remaining strongly SLPP, and calling on all SLPP supporters that will be the BNM, saying they should stay steadfast and stay SLPP and focus on the party moving forward.
Since you don't take listeners then back to 2017, and you don't make mention of names then like the Baja Tijansi and other people them way, everybody be no see they be don't stay away from the SLPP for a while now. But according to you, the conciliation committee where the party been set up, they able for talk to some of them people there, so they don't come on board, and when they get on a first meeting this Saturday. What do you go say to people who believe, say, yes, the SLPP party, they in governance, but not to the SLPP, they in charge. Now, a particular faction of the SLPP, they call it Pauper, now then they rule not to the SLPP party.
Well, that's news to me. Tango Unana journalism when I get the news. We in SLPP, we're SLPP, and it's the SLPP that is ruling. It's the SLPP that is being headed by His Excellency Brigadier Julius Mada Biona, the leader, and we mean as Secretary General, and we Dr. Hadina, the chairman. There is only one SLPP. We formed in 1951, and there is still one SLPP, and that one SLPP will continue. Of course, those accusations and descriptions will always come in place based on people's views and their perception, and maybe what they're interested in. But as far as we know, and as far as we are ready, the party is one, SLPP is one, which is why we cut across the country. We get representation at each and every corner of this country, and we get activities going on at each and every corner of this country. Every tribe, every group of people, every religion, every facet of society is represented in the SLPP. So there are no factions within the SLPP. Of course, during our last campaign, there was a slogan that we are coming to make sure that the move Australian forward and nothing will stop in our way, which is what we still believe in, and that's what we are continuing to do.
So apart from the party getting the leader of the country currently, when President PU, how you would describe the functions of the SLPP as a whole itself? Because we don't go on our delegates conference, they don't go on new assignments as executive. But for the past 3 years, how you go explain to listeners them the functions of SLPP?
The party don't be the function. I mean, we structure starts from the sectional. We have sectional executive, we have zonal executive, we have constituency, district, region, and the national executive. At each level, we get the executives, and they always reach out to membership for make sure say they support the agenda of the government, for push forward and communicate the policies of the government to our people. And that has been going on effectively, even as we speak now. We do on the national midterm census. The party executive at every level, they function effectively for make sure say people are being educated and spoken to, for let them come out and participate in the census process. The free quality education, we get the party they participate in effectively for make sure say it's being communicated. As a party also, we cater as well for our own people. We come, for example, at the trying times, last year, as a party we decided to say, let's raise some funds and see how best we go for get some money together and do what we call a unity microcredit for cater for the most vulnerable of our membership, which we did, and we got for GAM to raise some funds as a party. We give them to one reputable local NGO, where then they do the implementation for we, and they continue. And also as a party again, we decided to say, okay, since 1951, this party already in existence, we need for develop and get some few assets there under the name of the party. So through party contributions entirely, we will get some money. We will refurbish party headquarters right now. And we also get the membership at different levels for say we'll put resources together and get places them. Because under the PPRC Act with the Constitution, for they function as a political party, you forget offices across the country effectively. We've been on the rented buildings and apartments and at different parts of the country. But as I speak to you now every part of this country, the party membership, they come together, they put their resources together, they contribute, and they start projects and for make sure say the SLPP is family planted across the country, in the north, the northeast, the south, the west, and the western region.
As you keep making mention of the party membership, where they clearly show say, na member them na party, they make party able for strong and contest election, and at the end of the day able for win. Since the 2018 elections, how best the SLPP don't try for bring on our members them together, especially people where we don't hold big position under the SLPP.
That's it. We the party, of course, each and every, apart from the party kind of power, the president is now ruling the country. Sierra Leone is made up of all political parties, including the opposition parties and everything. from the SLPP perspective, we have the political positions that with the president give, on our political appointments, and those who've been appointed in those political positions, each and every one to do your own bit within they all come from constituencies, they come from areas and everything, and the party always impress on them, get back to their constituents and make sure, the policies of government reach out and how best they can be able for help those people that within their communities. And that's going on, and I can assure you, all the appointees, including my humble self, Wasidonaya, the area where I come up from, I'm always there for make sure, what me do, for example, in a new area, now a farming community, which I decide to do, I decide say, okay, let's go into large-scale farming within this community. That resonates very well. We not only the one, we bring a lot of young people, they involve in the activities, and we're able to inspire many other people that within the community. With the tractorization we government became last year, people they don't forget about farming for a very long time. Some young man they don't go into bike riding and everything. We are inspired by the movement of them tractors there. So they go plow the bully land there, they plant the rice and everything. And they don't harvest, they are even going into some other activities there. And that's going on, and people appreciate that very much. So definitely as a party, the one the way president appoint politically, we then believe the party is the the party now the umbrella for them. They contribute immensely for make sure we continue to develop the membership of the party. And I can tell you the SLPP membership has become very, very much attractive, and they expand on a daily basis. And every day we're receiving a wide range of people that will come in for register as members of the party, which we have now set up a full database, and we're trying to digitalize it. And very soon when we process it, we don't have or put it on a website where everybody in this country and around the world will get access with a click of a button. You go there and press and see how many members are in SLPP or which area they come up from, with even contact numbers.
So apart from people where the presidents give political appointments, so from the SLPP and the grassroots people where you don't talk about, now waiting on I don't do for unite on a party, especially for people where people are not referred to as patron members them where we not on the hear about anymore on the SLPP.
That's it. The SLPP is united. It's a one force. I don't know if 98.1 began the coverage of the party activity in Abo. They see some old members then. We maybe a couple of times see them. We don't know even able work up properly. Then get them picking in. They bring their cam directly in the field so they can see and participate in the process. And that committee they will form. We also get the Council of Elders within the SLPP. This Council of Elders, we've mandated them. They reach out to some of the very old members and now who are very much influential within their community. They go, they sit down with them, they discuss. They want them. Now the member with the strong small, the Council of Elders with the strong small, they go, they sit down with their colleagues there, they discuss, talk about the party, and come again with some ideas and advise we and the leadership of the party so that we go able to continue to implement. And I can tell you for sure, right across the country, the party not get any frictions, I can assure you from this point now. And that notwithstanding, the most interesting part of it again is how best we don't need penetrate within the northern region. We can we are the foundation stone of this party here. We have very, very strong families in the north. We are actually the founding fathers of this party here. We don't try to identify them. Some be done, they don't a little bit dormant for a while, but now we don't activate them very much, and they are all very much fully on board. They hold their own meetings, so we get conversation with them. We are moving that across because my idea of it was the Israeli People's Party. We don't dig into the history. We know how this party has come about. We know the compromises. We know the arrangement. We know the arrangement where they set up for form this party here. And that we're going to leave to the dreams of our forefathers for bringing this party to each and every doorstep. It's not only about ruling out, about government, but it's about taking this very fine ideology we people that conceived 70 years ago for continue to the next generation.
Talking about party unity and how much una as a party don't they work for bring all una members them on board for all una work as one. During the lower levels election, certain people then be there where una be expelled, where na Yusuf been signed that list they una been pulled out to the public due to some anti-party activity. Then now that una they on a unity journey, how much una don't try for look into them cases then they?
Well, actually, not to be expulsion, it'll be suspension. The letter I write was to suspend them for looking to the activity, which we did. In the last NEC meeting in Port Loco, there was a motion moved by one of the honorable members of parliament for make sure all those who were suspended as a result of those activities be granted a blanket amnesty and for them be recalled back to the party. One prominent among them was the Honorable Afiju Kanja, in which a plea was made on his behalf. participate in this last national delegate conference.
So everybody dey on board now.
So very, very much and fully.
Just after the 2018 election, we una assume power as a party, some changes then be happen now in our constitution or now in our party structures. We get for do with the president for be the leader of the party. We now one thing done the way other party they be do during the time when the SLPP be the now opposition. Una be so much criticized, but immediately una win elections. Una do the same thing on our party structures then.
Well, the issue about criticism, I don't know about that because I'm not on record for that. I don't know who that be doing at that time. But I can assure you, say, if you don't study the history of the SLPP, where the Second Republic was established again, where political parties' activities and come back in 1996, when the SLPP was, reactivated again, we had a leader and the chairman of the party. The leader was elected in the person of Alhaji Ahmed Tijan Kaba. We had Paul Domba, who was chairman. Later we had Samabanya, going forward, and all the other chairman, the way they come thereafter. So there was always the issue about the old constitution of the SLPP. We had the leader of the party and we have the chairman of the party. That was the SLPP 1995 constitution. We did it clearly. And the reason was very much obvious. The chairman for do the daily activities of the party and the leadership for provide the political instructions and direction of a political arrangement. We make them very much, that's best practices. All over the world, it is there, and we studied on it effectively. But in 2010, what happened was there was an amendment made to the 1995 Constitution in which the two offices now was blended. The Brinker and the chairman and the leadership under one umbrella in the amended Constitution of 2010. We had the agreement and we continue until 2018, in which the general membership was calling all over the place saying we for do a constitutional amendment. Which is why we delay with National Delegate Conference because we wanted to go to this National Delegate Conference under a new constitution. Right. So we get for table that proposal date, the NEC as required by law. We send on all the regions, all the districts, and for them, they study them for 3 months. They study them for 3 months, and they come back, we call it National Delegate Conference. It was a unanimous decision by the party membership, say the two offices should be separated again for reflect what was obtaining before 2010. And once they agree on that, the delegate then pass out at the National Delegate Conference.
Omar Napoleon Koroma, in the National Secretary General for the SLPP. Earlier this morning, they tell we about waiting on the happen at the SLPP. As last week, then just come out now the delegates conference. We will go for can talk later about the outcome of the conference, but we continue for look at seeing them wait on the happen at the party inside the past 3 years, as you still now the Secretary General after the convention. So as we continue for look at the issues and they share with listeners them waiting on be the greatest challenge now the SLPP inside the past 3 years, despite the fact say now produce the government within power now.
Definitely, as a political party, now we're in power and we get the responsibility for cater for the entire population of this country, and the president, and the cabinet, and the government we put together. We're very much sure and satisfied about what they do in terms of laying down the policies and pushing out the agenda for them to develop this country. And, as you know, we see in the provision of the free quality education, provision of sustainable electricity, and so many other issues. But as a political party, definitely, when you come into governance, the expectations of your membership is very much high. And the party, we get the membership of the party, that will get the support base. They are ordinarily people who they support the party who are not registered member of the party, but they support the party. And they are also those who are registered members of the party, from ordinary members to distinguished Grand Chief Patron. Those ones, then they understand and they appreciate very much where the government, the president deliver on some of the manifesto commitments. And the supporters, of course, they keep coming around and they try for, look for the gains of the party. And we encourage them. The party offices always, they beam with our supporters and our people, them are right across the country. And as I say on Ali and Aya, those who president don't give responsibility, many of them, initially will come, they try to put themselves together, it'd be challenging. But as they go along the line, they're able to put themselves together, able to understand, see, it's about taking back the issues of development to their own people in the various constituencies in the areas where they come from, which they have now been engaged in. And in the last couple of years, as a political party, we're only raining on them. We call meetings of them, we talk to them, we get conversation, and that is very much understandable now. A couple of times, even before this election, I can take upon myself for visit around the country, so many areas, and in some constituencies, for talk to them about their MPs, those where they give political appointment, where they come up from their area, and waiting at the relationship with the people. And the results inside the last, 1 year now going down, it don't be very, very much positive. We'll only continue to encourage them, for let them continue on that trajectory, for make sure to say, when will they go back towards the end of this year to early next year, we campaign the start, it will be easier for we to talk to our people. So definitely, as a political party, quote unquote, we are not in governance, but we still administer the party. We rely purely on our own membership and what the membership they contribute to the party for make sure say the party live and function. We are in governance, we're not living on the government, we're not getting anything from the government Australia into the SLPP. All we rely on is with membership there and their contribution and their commitment to the party, where they continue to encourage them for what they do, which is why today we now get structures and they go around the country. We now get people and they contribute to party activities. When we want to engage any activity, we get people that go for call on, we go for chipping and make sure say the party continue for function effectively.
3 years back, you be part of the team we bring the SLPP to power, where President Bio be win the 2018 election. And now again, you don't be part of the team we likely go take them back to the next general election 2023 after una do endorse them back for being a flag bearer. Now, waiting na the achievements and we will able to talk say as a person will be a key player for bring this party into governance, and you don't serve na President Bio in administration for almost 4 years now. What you go proudly boast of say, yes, I be part of a team will succeed for bring my party in governance, and my party don't in power for almost 4 years now. This is what we have done, and I'm proud for see a day part of this team.
Very, very much proud. I can say this. I don't talk about several areas. I will talk about today for the people there again. Probably, I don't know how people they appreciate it within the Western area now, but it's well appreciated right across the country because I experience them and I know what it means. One of the main things that we go proud of.
So why not talk about Western area? We host the seat of power.
We can do in terms of the level of appreciation. We come to the Western area. The Western area, by the special grace of God, we know now. Quite recently, we light not be there for 3 days. We know how people they are. Because we don't stabilize them and people are happy about that. But I'll talk about the free quality education. We cover the entire country. Me, I can always give the example. I was raised by a single mother with 8 kids. We began for work and struggle for school fee for each and every picky we began at school. I suffered the humiliation of being beaten in school. We will not pay school fees. When school open, they give you 3 days. They say, we'll go. After 1 week, they begin to drive you. The next week, they begin to identify when I bring you a can of assembly. Anybody who not pay school fees, they trash you. They drive you back. You go to cry. If your parents cannot afford it, you don't come back to school. Many, thousands of colleagues then, at that stage, they begin to drop out of school as of that day. When President Bio come, we also get that kind of childhood. We get that kind of background. And look at it and say, look, no parent will have to suffer again for make sure say they go struggle for raise school fees, for pay for them school for them picking the way they did in school. People thought it was not doable. People they be even criticize outside the money they come on. But in less than 3 months when they elect him, they inaugurate as president in April, by June, July, the free quality education was launched. By the time school they opened, we started it off. Get a little criticism at the initial stage, but by the special grace of God, here we are today. And that don't resonate very well. If I were to go around the country, one of the main things, and sometimes I don't even speak about it, people they walk up to we. I remember 3 months ago, I be in Kabbalah, in one village. A young man walked up, one old pa walked up to me. He said, Pa, me, I get Boku picking away to school. I don't even know it's not school fees anymore. So anybody will say, if they come back again for change that particular thing, they will not go agree for them. So me, I don't care till they do it to now. Those are the kind of things then. And then they na everlasting legacy. I tell you, Khadija, now President Bio, SLPP, many years, SLPP is not there around. Anybody we try you down there again, even the people of this country rise up against you. We go sit down here with people then, even with them dinner, we make it man then, with people that in the street now, we then get their picking there. They see the benefit of them. They might not be saying it, maybe for political reasons, but everybody they see the benefit of them. And we, SSF, you will sit down there, me was sit down here. We school before this time round, before the launch of the free quality education, we school they open. You get extended family. You know how many people they call you from upline? Those of us who come from there. You know how many people they will call even within this western area and say, hey, school open me picking, this is for pay, this is for do. You know, how much are the money then? We they calculate, we they remit. Some of we, if we check what will be the gear out, and what we don't save in savings for able for put in other areas, then you can't imagine that. So to me,
let's just hold you the quick. The program is still a listener. Good morning, Salon. And they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring the program come to you this Tuesday morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And Mabel Kaba.
We still get Umaru Napoleon Kuma Utwi in the studio. We're the National Secretary General for the Salon People's Party. Today in the program, we they talk about issues them na the SLPP. As people know, then just come out do the national delegates conference. Also, they don't get a new executive for run the party for the next 3 years. When they come back to you, Mr. Kuma, we don't talk about a lot of issues. Them earlier, I ask you about some of the things them where you feel say you proud of as a member of a team where we work so hard for win the 2018 election and you they serve now this current administration. You don't talk about the free quality education where yes, most people know say now the flagship program of the SLPP and government still they try for implement although some challenges then they as you say they accept that one day. But again, being in power for almost 4 years, the citizens them way being given the mantle of leadership, wanna be get a contract with because as of then they wanna be present to them a manifesto. Wanna ask them say wanna vote for we. If wanna vote for we, na then 10 years so we go able for do as a party. One of the major highlights them of them campaigning, they are the issues that we be get for do with living condition of the people. The slogan be they say the bread and butter issue. Now one day the way most people feel say the SLPP government not able for settle it as most people you talk to them go cry say hardship in the country.
Thank you very much. I've been going to the issues. Thank God you talk about the manifesto, and I'm happy. I will want Australians and go back to that document and take that document and read them and see many of the promises that we SLPP make and compare to all the policies that we don't deliberately implement for make sure say we push that policy through under the manifesto. Of course, the issue about the living condition is not only about Sierra Leone anymore, it's a global thing. You all know, except you're able to understand. I mean, people that will refuse to understand for political reason, but we know the global pandemic. I mean, people can talk about we don't get other issues than before. It only affected Sierra Leone and a few countries, which was the Ebola. But this was a pandemic which affect the whole world, not only Sierra Leone, every corner of the world. We greatly affect certain things within the country. And over the last period, we see how the Minister of Trade and Ministry of Communication, Information and Communication, they go around the country for explain things into people. We look at the issues people they talk about pricing of commodities and other things. Take, for example, the businessman will be the import a container from China. 3 years ago for maybe pay $4,000-5,000 for a container. Now, they only even pay higher price, but the container not even available. Now, they will tell you if you ask the businessman there for a container, they will pay $5,000. They are now paying maybe like $10,000-15,000. That if you are available. Sometimes they even get the goods and pack there. If you have containers there for Bianca, because people don't know people only work, they only produce for them they even bring out of the country. So you definitely go for those things and come up. That's happening. If you follow again the news and the global trend, even the great countries the world powers you see how things they hike from one point to another as a result of the reduction of production in activities and as a result of the COVID restrictions that we put and the things that we know they happen. So naturally this time. But I can tell you say on that notwithstanding, inside this pandemic here, we don't able for manage, the government able for manage for make sure say the basic commodities that people they need within the country and who need around are available. We not get the kind of situation we put and go for say we have a shortage of this not available, this not available. Of course, the pricing is being determined by how the market man they go buy and cancel. Government don't try for cushion and they by waiting. Look at the policies the tax policies that the government they do on the basic commodities government they say, okay, when you bring can rice, all the customs, all the this way for pay, for pay again, we take them off so that when you come back again, you sell to the market at a price we put a go before afford. But the business people, the main idea is to maximize profit. When you reduce the tax, they come, they clear the goods again, they want for sell them for make profit out of it. But in terms of government policies, deliberately, government they undertake them policies and they for make sure say they able for stabilize them prices and they keep make sure say those commodities are not only available on the market, but are available at the cost people they go for afford within the country.
So then policies and the way they talk about how effective they don't be, because if the policies them really they work and the government they in control of issues, why things then still expensive in the market, taking into consideration pepper, fish, and things them where we get from Salonia, so we not get nothing for do with the global pandemic.
Well, you see, it comes to the Australians. We save naturally. Because if they go plant pepper, he cut the pepper out and now he decide for selling the price we want. You see, price don't go up. You know, just like I say, you know, again, those are not in the way they import. Now we grow them and we decide for sell them again. I mean, that's the economy and the free. Nobody, you know, government, I don't think you want this situation where government go for go hold out, where they go put line plazas in a market. They can't tell us if for sell out 1 million, you know, if for sell out around you by force. That comes to the Australians. We say safe Australian as a nation and as a country at this particular time. You know, people that they make certain things that within this country where maybe the production cost, you not get too much capital intensive in the activities. But even as done again, why did it happen? Because of the reduction of production activity within the country. How many people did they go again for go do their activities that they compare to how they did before? Which is why quite recently, I'll tell you one indicator again. When last year government decided for issue the tractorization process, they say, look, go back. Many people don't let farming activity because one, some of the young men will be there, their villages will be doing the farming, they don't left. Some they go ride Okada, some they go do other activities. And because the farm work don't become difficult for go brush, for go clean and everything. But when they see the tractors and go in, they begin to plow them bully land there. You see people moving back towards that. This year, if you walk across, if you don't move across this country, I will say they bully land in there. I don't see any bully land one meet where empty, where they don't put rice there. The only challenge we'll get more, we have to do with the post-harvesting, which government also don't take over. Because just last week, I learned from the Ministry of Agriculture, say, they don't import combine harvesters in, where they go for distribute to people there. Where they plant there, right, they go for harvester and mill and they go reach to the market. Those are the sustainable ways and for doing. But if we go buy in our other countries and for brand come back in this country, the time pool they take and the transport cost they pay until they reach now the business member one for me profit will increase that. But if president the idea was that let everybody just farm. If just grow it they eat, for example, not even for sale. If you they grow it they eat, me they grow it they eat, they reduce for buying at the market, then the product the cost go reduce because you're not going to go, more people are not going to go into the market again for go buy. But like I say, some of the things and then the policies then on the imported goods and then at the taxes area. On the one in Australia, you're not going to do with any issue of taxation. It has to do with maybe the Australians ourselves. We have to think about ourselves as a nation and as a country in a pandemic like this.
There are issues there we don't start for talk about. So now issues them we get for begin come up just not frequently because when you look at the political calendar, we slowly they go into politics stem them na salon from this year now for meet up next year 2023. Now discussion in this way get for come up na attend them way the SLPP they come back and give account or read the report card of the things they would then feel safe for the past 5 years. When the people that don't elect them into office, they don't able for do. You don't try for give some of excuses we make things are hard now the country global pandemic according to you. And say if you talk about the free quality education where you say now is successful now as a government. With all other issues them surrounding the SLPP government, allegation of corruption, audit reports, allegations, the way they inside and all, you think say some of their issues they are so convincing to the people of Sierra Leone for let them renew the contracts where they get with Tuna for the next 5 years again?
To start with, the pandemic is not an excuse. I mean, it's been saying, we always say, not to think we hide, it's open. Secondly, the question about allegations. I'm happy is the allegations, but the most important thing we appreciate about it is bringing the issues to the fore. That's not hidden. It's all in the open. When it come out, the public talk about them, and how do we react to them? You recently, when the audit report come out, you see the press statement with the anti-corruption come up to it, and they say they are going to look into the audit report, and they are mandated too. Anybody who is responsible for go explain the issues why. Because if you look at the audit report, you get the auditor will say, at the time we'll go for this not be available. At the time we'll go for this document, the document will be available. We'll go advise in future this and this time for happen going forward. There are times in this country government officials and in the previous government will say the audit report a mere opinion expressed. It's nothing important. But I'm happy now today's audit report, then people then they take them very seriously, and how we go for deal with them is also very, very much important to us as a government. You know, they come out, we go keep her under the table. And they come out, we go lay her in a corner, we say, you know, important. As you come also, we don't get the body who responsible for that day for looking to them. And they say they go ask questions to people there. We're waiting for those questions, and those people will go back again and respond. And those responses will be made known to the public. It's not about most of them get for the process issues them. Say this process was not followed, this one was not followed. Those are the issues that they want to know they're responsible for the one, and they will call them and they will explain. If they explain, if it is acceptable to the body we're responsible for that, they will put out to the public. If it is not acceptable, the action where they get for take. And we're happy. We are no longer saying that they are mere opinion. We are now saying, in fact, people want for even saying now saying it's law. Immediately come on now, as they make the findings, they say that this would they recommend. People are now even saying, now for go after, now for hold this, now for hold that, now for hold that. These are the Australians now. We maybe a couple of years ago say, these are mere opinion. We don't even need for look at them. But I'm happy we brought it to the fore, and we will continue in that processes. And at the end of the day, the proper processes then as we move ahead for digitalize some of the system then, for move from the paper system to the digital system. Some of the issues then they will be properly looked into and dealt with effectively. So that we will get some of the issues and they come up again.
So as a nation, if we go back to the polls currently as we did talk, taking into consideration the situation on the ground.
President Bio will win over 70%. Not even done a question.
On which basis you think, say, Salon people go give President Bio over 70% at this stage? On
the basis of which he don't deliver to the country. I'll be telling you, probably we need for the move around a little bit further for see what is happening around the country.
Moving around now one, but how much they pay attention whilst they move around to some of the key issues them, to the conversation around within the citizen and they discuss, because you boldly they say if we're going to the polls now, President Bio go win.
Definitely.
When really they pay attention to within the people and they say?
Definitely. That's why we move around. We listen to them and we pay attention to them. And we respond to them.
Slogans them around the ground guy.
That's where that slogans they around from vocal music. Then they, like I say, it all depends on people's expectation. Everybody's expectation different. In my own area, for example, where I come from, you know what our opposition is? Our opposition is not about the political party. Our opposition is the roles that they suffer from. We want the roads them for be constructed. So they go for move with goods them from villages and for Brianka the town. This is not the first time in the history of this country where we say me come from for over 70 or 80 years, where government will take tractor from Kabalati go to Yimfi. For example, people appreciate that they are along that line. They are not shouting about waiting the one African they talk about. That's their own issue. You know, if you take Kabbalah to Krubola, what did they cry about? Now road. And that's what government is looking into for make sure say they did that road. Go to Kono, the Kamiondo road. If you go talk to people along that road, they will tell you, all the 2 1 now just help with this road there. These are some of the issues then people they talk about.
So with you saying with over 70%, if we are to go back to the polls today,
yeah.
President Biego gets over 70% from citizens and we used to go vote them in.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the SLPP happy with the current situation of Salon people and we're going to make Dengue President Bio 70%?
SLP is happy so far with what the president has done and what the government is doing and the policy of the government only and the foundation they lay for develop this country, not only for we now but for generations to come.
We continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Umaru Napoleon still there with we in the studio, in the Secretary General for the Salon People's Party. Today in the program, they talk about issues them we get for do with the Salon People's Party as they just come on all the National Delegates Conference. Now, Bo Usai them being picked again, President Bio for being a flag bearer for run for the party. Now the 2023 elections. Now we come now to the National Delegate Conference where on just come out now. After the National Delegate Conference, Usai, the leader of the party, where His Excellency the President be addressed on all as members of the party, call on everybody for come on board. The one that say will be stand for position them where they lost. He encourage them for work for the party, for let una ensure say una secure victory come 2023. Now una don't get a new executive. Waiting at the way forward, the plans, waiting will be on our first target as a new executive of the Salon People's Party.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, we just come back from Bo. We don't forget we first national executive meeting, when at the inaugural meeting, we get on Saturday at the party headquarters, in which we the new one day we don't come, we don't join you on board. We'll go for welcome them, and from there we begin to set our plans for 2023. And definitely, it's just natural. We're going to activate the party at all levels for make sure say they engage in the processes and the campaigning for re-elect His Excellency Brigadier Julius Maada Bio as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And definitely, we the make sure say the committees are all will be done set before by next we conference don't go approve, particularly the Peace and Reconciliation Committee, the Disciplinary Committee, they all therefore be very, very much fully, be put into use and effective for bring out those on board and make sure so we maintain perfect discipline within the party. Because we have to go into that election well organized, well prepared, and well arranged. And we for able for do that name, we go for ensure see we get proper discipline within the party. And definitely, like I say, 2023 is just around the corner, and thank God we'd already take the very first step by electing our leader, which is a process, and thereafter, we process don't start for we effectively as a party. It's now putting into place the structures then with the responsible for make sure say all the activities that we plan for 2023 is being effectively implemented across the country.
How tolerant the SLPP party be?
SLPP party very, very more tolerant, and it's a party for the entire people of this country. I can always go back to the history of the formation of this party. This party, they conceived at the north, at the Sidon. It was based on compromises between the provincials and the colony people. The Creole, Timini, Limba, Mende, Soso, Fula, you name them. All the tribes in this country, all the religions in this country, they all come together in 1951. They say, we'll join together and form a party, because the protectorate, there was a party formed here by Lamina Sanko, who was a Creole, who later converted himself, he's not a Creole, he called himself countryman, and Lamina Sanko, he began a party, he began the protectorate assembly, where they began their own organization, where they come together. So they joined together and formed this party here. Right. It was based on that compromise. So they tolerate each and everybody, which is why, even in terms of political representation, today, if you check the political map of Australia, the Australian People's Party, the only political party, we get representation at each and every district in this country, with the exception of Bombali. But there is no district in Australia where SLPP not get representation.
So the reason why I ask how tolerant the SLPP be now, taking into consideration the fact that within a year from 2023, where we expect the country forgets the next general election, and the issue of political cross-carpeting, we not on the area from where the SLPP come into governance.
Cross-carpeting, other people they left other party for come
yes.
to SLPP. Well, that's the SLPP. Definitely, that has been happening a lot. But I can't tell you, we know they behave like other political parties, and we go take people they candidate, they declare, they put on social media.
So now people that don't left them party, them come na the SLPP.
So many people them. So many people them from different political parties them.
Give me example of names we don't left them political party, then join the SLPP.
The membership them we don't left political parties from the NGC, from the APC. They've come and we have the structure and we'll put it out when we are ready.
You know the Secretary General of the party.
Yeah.
And as somebody who run the secretariat, you're supposed to get data.
I have it.
Of all them people.
I have it and I'll make it public when I'm ready.
Hold on, sir.
Thank you.
If you give statistics of them political cross-carpeting in which percentage you go say from where the SLPP don't kind of power, about 40%, or maybe 50% of politicians from other parties come over.
That's not what is open. The party is open to membership. What we've been doing is our membership drive. So somebody can say, I'll be registered in this political party. You don't have to be maybe the former minister or the former, I know it's not a try for talk about, maybe former ministers, former councillor, former members of parliament of the other party coming over. That's not the point I'm making. We're talking about the membership drive. We're really engaging our membership drive. We recruit members for Kana party, and everybody, people they come, they walk, say, I want to register in the party, but we belong to this political party. So yes, we register them and we give them our membership card. They will take what they begin, they will keep them. So that's what we will be doing, and that's what we've been working on quietly. I talked to our just earlier, say very soon we'll complete our setting up our database to be made known public. And with a click of a button, you will know the membership structure of the party. In terms of the top level, which you are talking about, we are a tolerant political party. If today, Posse one for can join we, if you meet the requirement that we set out for membership within our party constitution, we'll gladly accept you.
Apart from being a tolerant party, let me look at strategies. How strategic is the SLPP taking into consideration how crucial the 2023 elections, because when they go back for a second term, and it get for be very crucial. Talking about strategies, how on a plan for maneuver, for then at the top and continue for all the seats of power.
Khadija won the Secretary General of SLP for Candice Cause strategy 19.2 this morning. That's interesting. Khadija, when you come to my office, I will share with you the SLPP strategic plan. But anyway, that said, like I say, presently as we stand in terms of our strength, we are represented in each and every district in this country in terms of political representation. We have a councillors and the district council chairmanship of Falaba, which is right at the corner of the north there. Yeah? You come down to Koinedugu, you come down to Tonkolili, you come down to Port Loko, come down to Cambia, you name the place, with the exception of Bombali. So it's just a matter of activating all of those cells, and the SLPP is moving forward. And that activity, then this year, a lower level elections, if not be follow up, even in the north, areas that will before this time around for even get a proper executive, they have to go and encourage people. We saw the stiff competition, people then come forward for say, we want to vie and serve this party here. And those people are very, very, very much active and effective. Okay. We see them during the lower level election there, and we see the move that be done they make. And by the special grace of God, within the northern region, the northern circle, I personally, Umaru Napoleon Kuroma, we hail from the northern region, Kwenadugu to be specific, are very, very much pleased with the activities of both the northeast and the northwestern region of the SLPP and the way the people that they gravitate towards this party are. And I'm going to continue in that drive, and I'm going to continue for take the SLPP and plant and deeply now in very root Usai start.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. Come back to Umaru Napoleon Kuroma from the SLPP. You will be known to tell me about the outcome of una delegates conference when I've been just the Olabo and waiting at the way forward for the party after that conference day. So now take me through how the structures entirely at the party currently, especially taking into consideration the Giwi policy where they talk about women them, waiting at the woman representation at the SLPP executive currently.
Well, these are elections, of course, not be a delegate election. Women, they, of course, be run for a couple of positions and where they run for, but fortunately, they not be succeed. For example, we get a woman where they run for the position of deputy chairman of the party, but be win the election. He lost to Alaji Fode Kalon from Briwa Chiefdom in Bombali. But of course, you get the position of the women's leader and the national women's leader and the deputy winner woman then. You get the treasurer winner woman. We contested again. 2 women they be contest for that position. 1 woman win in the person of Matakanagbo. And the interesting one will be the financial secretary of the party. You get 3 men then, plus 1 woman will they contest for that position. The woman will contest for that position. They just come in the race not too long ago, but you win overwhelmingly. That was very, very much impressive, and we don't trust all the finances of the party in the hands of a woman in the presence of Ambassador Francis. We come into the race at a very later part. So you win. Those are very strategic positions. So in terms of the finances of the party, both the treasurer and the financial secretary of the party, now women they carry that position. They control now the lifeblood of the party. So you go for CC, you go for the regulatory up there. If the financial secretary say this, let the treasurer back say dandy, we go for really, really be in their hands, and I'm happy for dandy. So that was it. And those are the position. I mean, other position, and the deputy organizing secretary woman they run for and back. They got about a couple of 3 women there where they challenge the man they, but they not be succeed. The person of Alassane George from the western area, now be win that position there. So we are very much good with that, and they get the issue about trusteeship position. Interesting for know that some of the trustees then, okay, for example, in the western area, we have a trustee with a woman, Ishpantu CDB of the party. The trustees then at the hand, we put the party, the current and the future of the party in the hand. And the eastern region also, we have the trustee one, Helen Farmer with a woman, and the northern region as well. So all across the 5 regions and all the trustees that they represent the party, they get now 2 trustees in. We get 1 man, 1 woman for all of them positions in there. So we have about 10, 2 pound, no, about 14 2-pound region. We are the 7 regions. We get the SLPP UKI and we get the SLPP North America. And that's we get 7 women that we are trustees in. We are all part of the national officers of the party. So if you put all together, we get about almost 13 women that we serve at the executive.
All right, now that I don't set up this new executive, we ready for take the party. Now that I don't get this new executive, we're ready for take the party for the next 3 years. And normally in politics, when I get what I can call the strongholds of a certain political party.
So politics, so
side them way not to the SLPP stronghold. Una sabi side away not to una stronghold. How this new executive go make sure say una go into their area, then they win a stronghold of other political party them for sell their ideology of the SLPP, for make people and see reason why they for support una party.
that on day in motion already, even before we elect this executive, and we'll only continue for perfect that one day now, for make sure see, like I tell you rightly so, well, we talk about stronghold, people talk about the northern region, it's not the stronghold of the SLPP, but the northern region, that they the SLPP born, they form the SLPP. We get very, very strong and traditional families and the part of that country, we the forefathers and we formed this party here. Like I've been talking earlier again, we've reached out to many of them and they're all ready to come on board for make sure say the party with the forefathers and be planted in the northern region continue for flourish. So definitely we activities and very, very much alive, and we are going to continue for do that activities and penetrate. Already, Falaba, the district council chairman, the councillorship, and all other positions, and many of the positions that will get them. We get them, and we'll continue for penetrating areas, and they take calm down, even up to Bombali. Now we get the vice chairman of the party, Alaji, we come from Manjoro, in Biroa Chiefdom, in Bombali district. That in election, if they elect overwhelmingly, both south, northwest, and east, they all vote for him. So, for make sure say we continue for even penetrate Bombali, we going for call the heart of the APC. So we'll continue that. We'll sign not to perceive stronghold of the party.
How about Western area?
The Western area has always been a very support base. The Western area will have a very traditional support base of the SLPP, and we'll continue for penetrate that.
Many thanks for you joining at the program this morning, Omaro Napoleon Koroma, National Secretary General for the SLPP. We're going to get you as and when SSK for the updates for the party.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Now, this edition of the program, Good Morning Salon Golefona. Plenty thank you to the production team. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kuruma produced the program. DJ Ahmad give it technical support. And Usman Kamara make us live on Facebook. So till we meet again, Mabel Kabadi say goodbye.
And Mina Khadija Bangura, they wish you all a lovely day.